So good afternoon. We're going to go through and do the cost analysis and functions of Excel program. This is going to be broken up into different modules. You'll receive each module as we're going along. This is the cost of analysis and functions of Excel professional certification course. In this, we're going to talk about several different things. We're going to talk about pie charts, accounting functions, data analysis, principal data functions of Excel. Now, Excel is such a powerful tool in today's industry that I want you to be able to utilize this and kind of learn some shortcuts along the way. Now, you've received a file, and I'm going to open this up. And everything that's going to be in this file, we're going to work through. So we're going to have several different modules to go through. So in your file, you'll open it up and then we'll say chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. And each chapter is going to have different exercises that you're going to work on by yourself to how to help build it, help build your competency in these different levels. So chapter 1 will deal with basic of functions. Chapter 2 will deal with payments and rates. Chapter 3 will deal with payment periods. Today and this week, we're only going to worry about the basic functions. And you'll receive chapter 2 and chapter 3 throughout the week. Now, I'm going to put a due date on everything. There's going to be a culmination test that will be due on July 13th. No issued certifications will be issued before then. And, once everybody gets through and done with the test assessment, then we will issue out the certifications. Now, what I'd like for you guys to do is open up chapter 1. I believe I already have it up here. I want you to go to, you'll see these different buttons in here. These are going to be different modules, and you're going to have different, they're going to be different exercises that you're going to go throughout. So the way this would work is I would do 1.1 in the video, and you would go through and do 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and so on, right? So I'm going to show you the basic functions here, and then we'll go through, and I want you to pause the video, work on these different exercises, and then unpause the video and I'll show you each one. So the way we have it set up is we have basically a salary chart with the number of years of the individuals that are employed, right? We have the personnel, going down. The salaries per year, right? The years employed. Now, I have several different questions in here that I want you guys to answer. What is the average years employed? So if we look at this, the way we can set this up is all you have to do is come into the answer box, type average, and then just highlight the years averaged. Once you do that, it'll give you an answer of the average years is 5.45, right? Now, I don't need that long of an answer, so I want you to go in here and we can kind of edit this to, roughly about 4.5 years or 5.5 years, excuse me. So we've answered that one. We'll turn it to green. What is the total salary expenditures? So if we're looking at this and I'm saying, I know what the years are. All I basically have to do is come in here, type sum, because that's going to give us, it's going to allow us to add up all the ranges here and click enter. And so basically that answer is going to be, $871,739 a year. That's what the salaries added up is going to be. Now I want to type in what is the average salary for the employees. And this is very similar. All you have to do is come in here, average. Click on that. And it says the average salary is $79,000. What is the 3 highest salaries for the year? Well, the way I like to set this up is you could come in here and these are already kind of labeled up where the years are already chronological, or excuse me, not the years, the salaries are already from the highest to lowest. Well, you would set, what are the 3 highest salaries? Well, looking at this, I can tell the 3 highest salaries here. So this would be your answer. And I'll just move these so we can keep this as a logical equation. So that's answering just basic functions here. Now I've kind of added some questions as to go along because I think these are really good activities for you to do to kind of learn the basic principles. But it says put together a pie chart of the years employed. So what I want you to do is put in the personnel. So you'll basically highlight that. Now, if you have a Windows computer, all you're going to do is hit Control and hold it and then highlight the years employed. If you have an Apple computer, you would do the same function, but you would basically hold Command and it'll do that. You don't want to just highlight everything because essentially you're going to have salaries per year, and that's not what we're asking for here. So you're going to do personnel, you're going to do years employed, and then go to insert right here, go to pie chart, and essentially, I'm going to move it right here. But you have your a pie chart of everything. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to add a legend to it, a data label, right? So we can see who's got, the highest, right? Which would be salary. Now we can see this visually a lot easier than seeing it here. But I want to be able to show you, how to create a pie chart. And a pie chart's really easy. Once you get done creating it, you can mess around and add little functionalities. You can make things a little prettier in here. Excel's a really nice way to set up presentations and things like that alongside here. Now, number 6 says create a scatter plot of the salaries. So we can do it 2 ways. Now, you can highlight the 2 personnels here, 2 columns here, personnel and salaries, and just go to insert scatter plot, right? And you can set that up just like so. Or you could come in where you highlight and then just go to insert. You can also go to recommended charts, go to all charts, and you can select it down there, right? Now it's a lot easier for us to choose this because you can see a little bit better, right? So you've created a salary, or you've created a scatter plot of the salaries. So now, based off of this, quickly you've understood how to calculate the average. how to calculate the sum, right? The total number of expenditures, calculating the average, figuring out what's the highest 3 salaries, right? You've figured out how to, and we've shown you how to create a pie chart, right? And creating a scatter plot of the salaries. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to pause the activities or pause the video. And then I want you to go through all of the different exercises. And once you get done, unpause the video, and then I'm going to show you how to work each exercise. So on 1.2, Joey has a spreadsheet of his top most valued comics. Calculate the average of his comics. So based off of the basic functions, we figured this out. All we have to do here is come in, type in average, highlight the values, and we have calculated the average. Now it says create a pie chart. Okay, so we'll come through and create the pie chart, highlighting the data here, right? Really easy stuff. You can sit there, you can add the data labels in there, right? You can mess with the legend, you can move it around. Right? But essentially here you've gone through and you've added the average, and then you created a pie chart and then added the labels in here. Now again, remember it's data labels to add it. Now, 1.3 is basically saying Gary owns a manufacturing company, has a variety of different functions. What is the total value of his equipment? So he has a MIG welder, a machine press, a toolbox, a stamper, a refrigerator. This is the price per unit. And then this is the number of units he has in his building. So you can set this up where the easiest way to set this up, if you look at here, Gary owns a manufacturing company, has a variety of different functions. What is the total value? His MIG welder, machine press, his toolbox, stamper, refrigerator. You have your price per unit, right? And then he also has a number of units. Now, if you just calculated this up, that's not the right answer because you still have the number of units, right? So you have to create a functionality. You basically will say this times this. And you can do it on each one, or you can grab this little box and come down. And then all you have to do for total is go to sum and highlight the data. So the total value of his equipment for everything he owns is $33,830. And it says, 1.4 is essentially figure out the total in question per item and then the total per all, right? So we have 4 items here. We have apples, oranges, bananas, watermelons. You have, that's the items, and you have the price, the quantity, and then the total. Very similar to 1.3, all we're gonna do is set up the functionality here to reflect the data here, right? So his total is essentially $340.75. Now it says create a bar chart to reflect the total. So again, I just want you to go here. I want you to go here. And so you're going to hold control between these two variables. Go to insert and create a bar chart. Now, I don't care which ones you use. It really doesn't. Just don't use the, well, I guess you could use these. You know, all I'm doing is trying to give a graphical representation of the data. Okay. At 1.5, I added a little bit of tricky stuff in here, but I think you'll get the gist of it. You know, basically, this is my chocolate addiction, right? I go through some chocolate bars, you know, pretty rapidly through the week, right? So if I'm looking at Mars bar, Twix, Kit Kats, M&Ms, right? Basically, this is going through data. Now, I wanted to show you something here too. So this helps you as well. You could set this up like if you were creating this, obviously sorry created, but you can come in here with words and you can say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then if you wanted to create something, you could set it up like that, right? So all I did here was just drag the volume over and it auto-populated what I was trying to create. But you already have that here. I just wanted to kind of show this to you. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, all I'm doing is adding the values. So I can come through and I'm grabbing this data. Now I could do the sum on each one, or I can just drag it over. Okay. Now, I also want to go through and do the totals for each section. So I want to create a little column and do the same thing. So that way I can have each individual one. Then all I have to do is this is we're trying to figure out the cost of what it is. So come through cost. Now, cool thing is I can just drag it down. As long as you don't lock these cells, and when we say lock, you know, as long as you don't lock these cells, you should be able to drag the value. Now, the cost associated with it is basically going to be this times this. And then go down. So you figured out how to calculate the total in each day. Total's here, right? And then you went through and you calculated this. So now we still have to figure out what the total cost is. So, you know, through a week, we spent about $31.28 on chocolate. So we've gone through chapter 1. I'm going to be adding to this, but I wanted to get you guys started today. So you have gone through the basic functions. Tomorrow I'll be adding more to it. And then I'll kind of be going through more of the course, but I want to get you guys started in the week.